and welcome back to another edition of Completely Unoriginal right here at DakotaBroadcasting.com. I'm Adam St. Paul, joined by Curt Campbell, and once again in the studio with us, Tony Zerg, down from Redfield.
Man.
Tony, what's up, man?
Nothing much, man. How's it going?
Good. Glad to have you in the studio as well. Tony, of course, Tony Tubes on YouTube. You can check out his YouTube channel and all sorts of reviews. Anything new over on the tube, as it were?
No, I've been concentrating all my efforts on quitting cigarettes. So, like, I'm honestly, my brain's just been a jumble the last week.
I see the Facebook messages. It sounds like you tried to quit cold turkey.
Well, sort of. I puff on a cigar once or twice a day just to kind of have that oral fixation a little bit. But yeah, it's
Are you
it's
quitting for money reasons? It's expensive, or health, or a mixture, or what? Let's get into this a little bit.
All the above. And I have kids, and I want to, I want to be able to play with them and like walk up the stairs with them without getting winded, and meet my grandchildren perhaps, and be able to like talk to my grandchildren without, sounding like this. That'd be.
Look, as an ex-smoker, I get it.
Kurt, you got any advice for him?
The thing I did is I used nicotine replacement stuff. I used lozenges for a very long time. Leaned on them as a crutch, really, until finally I decided I had to get it through my head. Okay, no more nicotine of any kind. I just got to stop, and that's kind of what I did. Chew a lot of gum still.
Now I've been here 5 years, Kurt, and you went like back and forth on it. I thought, because when I started, I didn't think you smoked. Then you picked it back up again, and then you quit.
I relapsed. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay.
But it was really early on when you were here.
Oh, really? Okay.
And from then on, it was the lozenges or the patch or something to replace it. All I can say is, you'll do it when you're ready. It's not easy, and I don't envy you. But if I can do it, some other people can. So
you aren't fully nicotine free now?
No, I am. I have been for about 2 years now.
Cool.
Well, you don't quit smoking. You stop.
Yeah. Believe me, there are still times, all this time, I'll see someone with a cigarette and I'll get a whiff of it and I'm like, oh, man.
Getting up in the morning is tough.
Yep.
And the end of meals is tough. And one of the reasons why I always enjoyed watching movies at home was because I could pause it and have a smoke.
Yep.
Or before I had kids, I could have a smoke in my house while I was watching the movie. So yeah, it's just those little things, replacing those little things. And I have an oil guru that gave me this black pepper oil stuff that you're supposed to dab under your tongue, and that's supposed to help it out because the patch would make my arm go numb. And the gum gives me a headache. Even juicy fruit give me headaches. So
interesting.
There are the lozenges.
Yeah,
that's what I went with, and that's what helped me through a lot of time. So,
well,
but those aren't good for you either. So
keep her going, and we'll try it, and we'll update the folks on your battle. And
you got our support. That's
I'm
for
just
sure.
glad that I never started the habit. I think.
Yes, when you're like 65 years old and you've retired, your kids are out of the house, and you're just waiting for death.
Go ahead, have at her.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm kind of planning on doing. Is if I make it that long, then I'm just gonna say screw it. I'm gonna smoke till I die now.
Yeah, maybe when I hit 70, if I'm not in the nursing home yet, maybe the last 10 years or so of my life, I'll light up again.
Do that. You're gonna get wheeled out of that nursing home to go puff on the porch. Man.
No, I mean before I go into the nursing home. Hopefully they won't let me in there, so I'll have to quit again, I guess.
Well, let's get to the topic at hand now, and that is, I think we're gonna touch on first the release of the new all-female Ghostbusters film trailer.
Yep.
Hit the internet. Internet exploded with mostly positive stuff. I saw a couple of SJWs who I despise, social justice warriors, saying that it plays to feminist or anti-feminist stereotypes. And
I don't see that, but
also black stereotypes with the loud black character. She can't be smart or intelligent or a doctor. She has to be the loud mouth, what you talking about kind of character. But we'll get into all of that right here. So really quick, just your guys' overall thoughts on what you thought.
Tony, you go first.
Well, it's a Paul Feig.
Paul Feig.
Paul Feig. I like Paul Feig stuff, and I really liked The Heat. I think that's one of the best buddy cop movies that I've seen in a long time. And I really, really enjoyed The Heat.
And his movie Spy is supposed to, I haven't seen it, but everyone raves about how good it is.
Yeah, we watched that, and that wasn't too bad. It wasn't, I mean, the Heat was better.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to it. Just, you hear that they kind of brought the theme song up into the times a little bit. You could hear that, just those little hints of it in the trailer and everything. And some of the comedy kind of fell flat for me.
See, that's just it. A friend of mine put it best. I watched the trailer and all I felt was so much meh. They've got this huge reboot that has the potential to be a monster comedy hit, and those are the jokes and bits they put in the trailer to say how good this is. Yes, I love Paul Feig. I love the cast. I love all the people involved in making it, but I wasn't impressed.
Maybe maybe this is actually somebody saving the good stuff for the actual movie.
That's exactly what I said to my wife.
The theory would go there that everyone's going to go see this movie anyway. We don't need to convince people to go see this movie, I guess, because it is Ghostbusters.
It is, and it's a great cast.
I don't Ted, like when I saw the trailer for Ted, I thought Ted looked amazing. But the 6 or 7 jokes in the trailer of Ted were the 6 or 7 jokes that I laughed at in that movie. And so these days with trailers really sucks for that. Mm-hmm. And same thing with Neighbors. I think, Neighbors was a great comedy, but the trailers just gave too much away. So hopefully it's better than the trailer.
I like the prop design myself. I thought that looked really cool. The proton packs and everything looked really cool.
Pistols and stuff too, man. It looks really cool.
The ghosts look cool. Yep. Slimer was there, which is a nice little nod to fan service. Now here's what I was kind of wondering, because I thought there's a fine line when you do a reboot like this, or if you guys have seen like Fuller House on Netflix.
I have not, and I will not.
Well, that is just nothing but fan service. 110%. Do you remember this? We're going to reference it here.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be just a monster.
Now,
I hated that show.
That's all that is. And my point is, so they completely bulldoze the line, and some, you got to balance it, where you have your original things that are funny and create new memories, and then you play to the old that people remember and whatnot. The use of the hearse, only because of the way they get it, ticked me off. Now I don't know if they're going with like this is a new Ghostbusters group where they're starting a brand new business. If they're taking over for what was the Ghostbusters, I would rather have them get Ecto-1 out of pull off a tarp,
absolutely,
or something like that. Because it was funny the first time they did it because it's a hearse and we get it and everything. Oh, my uncle has a car, happens to be a hearse.
Well, and that's when she said that. My uncle has a car that I can borrow.
Maybe go to Winston.
Yeah, exactly. Ernie Hudson's still alive. He's still kicking. Let's get him in there.
Yeah. Have we seen him though?
I guess that's true. Maybe that will happen. But I immediately go to that. No, she just got from her uncle, who happens to be a mortician, said you can borrow my car. But I guess if that's the case, I would rather have them, like I said, go get it out of storage, pull the tarp off, and you see the Ghostbuster logo on the side of the door. It's a great trailer shot there.
That would be a great trailer shot, although that's kind of a nitpicky complaint, because the car is such a small part of the entire...
But
I don't
think so. Yes, it is.
I don't think
they drive to and from places in it, and it's iconic to look at.
With the...
the siren.
It's the mystery machine, man. It's
Ecto-1. It's there. It doesn't do anything special except get them from point A to point B and have a cool siren.
Curt, you're wrong, and you're worse than Hitler.
Okay, I lose.
Yep.
I'm just saying, like that.
You forgot to say, I hope you die in a fire.
And I hope you die in a fire.
How many kids?
I totally pwned you.
How many kids wanted the Ecto-1? It's like Barbie's dream car, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I guess I agree with Tony more that I think the car is a little more iconic than you think. I just wish that they would have. I don't know. It seems like they're shoehorning it in, where it's like, oh, my uncle has a car. Solve that problem. We're good to go. They showed Slimer, which is fun.
Yeah.
The ghost. You know what I always liked about the original Ghostbusters was that they did a really good job with the designs and everything that made the ghosts goofy looking but scary at the same time. And for the small bit of ghosts that we got in the trailer, I thought they did a good job of that as well.
My kid wanted me to go back like 3 or 4 times when you see like the big walking giant ghost. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want you to pause that right in the middle. And like he was very 6 years old about it, you know? So...
Cool. I mean, I think it'll be a fine movie. They'll probably have 2 or 3 sequels from it when it's all said and done. Like you said, Kurt, it's got some really good folks in front of it directing it and leading the way.
See, I'm still I was a little disappointed, but I wasn't disheartened. Oh, this is gonna suck. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, that's not all that great. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
And it'll be a big thing too. And you guys I don't think you'll disagree with this, but feel free to jump in here. The big thing, too, for the original Ghostbusters, especially the first one, because a lot of people are split on the second one. I like the second one a lot more.
I think it's fine.
A lot more than a lot of people do.
Yeah, I love the second one.
But the original, the way that Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Bill Murray played off of one another was really a huge part of that movie. The chemistry that they had. And that is what's going to be the most difficult thing to recapture or recreate is that chemistry between now what's their Kristen Wiig and
brilliant
Kristen Wiig and who's the Melissa McCarthy. They've been in movies together a number of times, so they've worked together. You bring in a couple of new ones like I forget the black woman's name. I'm sorry. And
she's from SNL.
Yeah, she's from SNL, yeah. And also Kate McKinnon.
And Kate McKinnon also from SNL.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they can work together like the gentleman did in the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think they will because they've got Kristen Wiig has such comic talent. Melissa McCarthy as well. I love her. I've heard people, no, she's fat and she falls down. No, she's more than that. So shut up.
You say she's fat and she falls down.
That's what people say. She's one. One trick. She's fat and she falls down.
I do think in some of her older movies, her physical comedy was a big part of what she did.
But she's character driven.
I will say that she can be very hit or miss.
It depends. Well, it also depends on the script.
Well, that's not disproving my point. She can be very hit or miss. Tammy,
you can only polish a turd so much.
Tammy was a train wreck, and then what's that one she did with Jason Bateman? Identity Theft. Those are both train wrecks.
Again, I think those were paychecks.
But then,
for everybody.
like Tony said, The Heat was good. She's good in Bridesmaids. I actually thought Bridesmaids was a tad overrated. It didn't make me laugh as much as I remember the radio station I like to listen to in the Twin Cities couldn't praise it enough. The guys in the morning show just loved that movie. I saw it. It was fine, but I
somebody poops in the street, guys are gonna laugh.
Maybe.
I figured the unrated version would be like really, really, like a lot funnier and stuff like that. And then I watched that, and I was like, wow, that was kind of even worse than the regular one.
I love John Hamm in it. He's hilarious.
He was just a dick in that.
John Hamm is great in that movie.
Terry Crews playing
Terry Crews,
the dude across the way.
Love him on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh
so,
my gosh.
I think we can move on unless you guys got anything else to add.
No, this is a wait and see. I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm not going to just give up. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to fanboy out.
I'm optimistic because the trailer sucked. And I guess that's very weird to say that, but the fact that the trailer wasn't that great gives me hope that maybe Paul Feig's just like me and you guys, where it's like, I'm really sick of trailers ruining movies.
Yes.
Now we can segue into Batman v Superman, in which I pretty much know the entire movie already.
Actually, yeah, that's true. But actually, I'm gonna bring up something, Tony. I'm gonna throw this at you as a curveball, and you can just give me your opinion on it. Because Kurt and I were arguing this on Monday. Oscars happened Sunday night, I believe it was. Watched it, good for whatever, and Mad Max Fury Road is up for Best Picture.
Yeah.
It wins, I think it was up for about 7 things,
something like that,
and it won 6 of the 7 best.
Actually, it must have been 8 then, because it was up for Best Director too.
Well, yeah, so yes, it won 6 of the 8 then, for sure.
Yeah.
It won Best Editing, Best Costume, Best, I think screenplay, not screenplay.
There was sound.
Yeah. I mean, all the technical awards goes to 6 technical awards go to Mad Max Fury Road.
So.
Yet it doesn't win Best Picture.
Well,
now, explain this to me.
It's easy to explain.
The film Spotlight took home Best Picture. How is it that
Spotlight?
Yes,
Yeah,
about the Catholic exposing Catholic sexual abuse. Like the original paper
Mark Ruffalo and
that,
stuff in that.
The original paper that actually broke some of the big stories in Boston and on the East Coast and whatnot.
All
but
right.
how is it that a film can go through and be the best edited, the best sounding, the best looking? Because it won cinematography as well. The best looking, the best original this and that, but not be the best film.
Because it can't. it wasn't the best film.
How though? It beats out all these other movies that are up for Best Picture.
Acting wise, I mean, Max himself says like 7 words in the whole movie.
But that's not the point, though. He's just the vessel that brings you into this world.
Right, but ocularly looking at the movie, it's beautiful. Listening to the movie, it's awesome. The concept of the movie is there. It's all there, but the fact is, Matt Damon's Martian was better, or Leo's Revenant was better. Hey, come on now.
I don't understand that though, because they didn't win for all of those things, yet Mad Max Fury Road does, meaning that it has better sound editing than The Martian. It has better cinematography than The Revenant. It has better this and that.
The Martian was Matt Damon in a paddock on Mars. I mean, how much better sound? I mean, how great of sound editing
having
can you get?
A great film doesn't require having great effects or even necessarily great photography or great sound.
Yeah. When you are the best of the best in 6 different categories.
When you're the best at something that isn't necessary to make it the best picture.
And that's the thing is, like, they used as little special effects as they could in that movie, in Mad Max. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of it was practical and it was just, I mean, so... The Martian, you have to use special effects for The Martian.
Yeah, we can't send a crew to Mars.
We're not going to send a crew to Mars. We can't have Matt Damon out there Iron Manning through space. You know, Revenant didn't use special effects because it's a period film and stuff like that. And
The Revenant, to me, it's a fine movie, but it reminded me a lot of Boyhood in that, they filmed in the cold, therefore, it took 12 years to make, so it deserves...
it looks blue.
Deserves this and that. I think that... I personally think George Miller deserved Best Director.
I agree.
Plus, I agree.
Gonzalez Iñárritu.
I mean, look at the plot. The plot of Mad Max. You have to look at the plot of what won Best Picture? Oh, that's right, the Spotlight. Look at the plot of the movie. The plot is guy gets captured.
He escapes and
they
runs
escape.
Away.
They go this way. They get hunted down. They turn around and they go the other way.
The first 2/3 is running away. The last third is going back.
That's the entire plot of the movie.
The Lord of the Rings is nothing but walking.
The Lord of the Rings movies suck dogs for quarters.
Don't start with me.
I will.
Don't you dare.
I will argue that to my grave.
Oh, don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Well, maybe
blaspheme in this studio.
We'll reserve that for maybe next week. That's that's something I might want to dive into a little bit more.
But I mean, my thing about the Oscars is I am just very surprised that Star Wars was just snubbed on all accounts.
Yeah, that wasn't really...
Star
Wars...
doesn't
shock me.
Although it also came out so close to the end of the year.
But you have to think, well, The Revenant did. The Revenant's still in the theaters.
They always do that, though, Kurt. They shove them out at the end so that it's to Oscar season.
Yeah, man. So. And I mean, I just think it's Star Wars, dude. I know that Boy Toy Lucas never got an Oscar for anything, but that doesn't mean that Abrams...
Not even like visual effects.
Yeah, there was a Star Wars won a special effects award.
Yeah, okay. He went to bed. I mean, he would have only had a minor hand in that. Lucas would have.
Yeah, that was all like, Skywalker sound and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, what was the... I mean, when you look back at 2015 in movies, nobody's going to say Mad Max. Nobody's going to say The Revenant. Everybody's going to remember 2015 was when Star Wars The Force Awakens came out. Because I still remember...
Now, I'll agree with that to mostly an extent, because think about... I remember a couple of years ago... Like, that's the thing. When it comes to the Oscars, they basically make movies that are straight Oscar bait. Right. No one is ever going to watch The Danish Girl again. It's going to be...
Somebody will.
It's going to be forgotten in a couple of years. Remember The Artist? The Artist won Best Picture, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago. No one ever talks about that movie anymore. Like, that happens all the time. I agree. And
not every movie can be iconic.
No, but where it won Best Picture, and I will agree with Tony that more people, and I'm not saying that Star Wars should have won Best Picture, but I will say because of what it is and everything, more people will remember and talk about Star Wars for years to come rather than...
And it wasn't a terrible movie. It was a good movie.
It's a good movie. No, I agree, but... I don't know. I think a lot of people in Hollywood feel like, oh, well, Star Wars has made $1 billion so far. There's its Oscar right there. It's a huge success. Everybody loves it. There's its award. Okay. There's a certain cynical part of Hollywood, I think, that does that.
Lastly, I wanted to touch on the Batman v Superman film because it has been announced that on the special edition Blu-ray, when it's released to video, they plan, or at least the idea now, is to include a special R-rated version of the film, and this is completely just backing or anking off the success of Deadpool in the R-rated comic book film. Yeah. What do we think about this? Because it just seems to me like, and according Curt, you told me that allegedly Batman drops an F-bomb one time and there's more violence.
That's actually just a quote I heard from someone, and I wish I could attribute it to them. They said, "How are they going to make this R? Is Batman going to drop the F-bomb and they make it a little more violent and gory?" I mean, is that how you make it rated R?
That's how you do it.
Maybe they dropped Amy Adams because she's plain, and they got some like super bomb redhead in there that's going to show all sorts of boobs.
I think she's pretty.
Okay, that's fine.
That'd be awesome. I'm sorry, every single Lois Lane, with the exception of Terry Hatcher, on film, Lois Lane, they've all just been
plain Janes.
Yeah, dude, and it's like, this is Superman,
but
man.
Isn't that kind of the idea, though?
She is. She's an every woman. She's
Superman more than any superhero is plain Jane as they come as well. He's
handsome with a strong jaw.
Yeah, I guess, but a Kansas boy, with Midwestern values, who you can basically project yourself on. He's every man's American, whatnot, and that's why he's so boring on film, and not to mention besides the world catastrophe destruction that Zack Snyder likes.
But you see all these movies and television shows where they have like the geeky dude or the geeky girl, and by the end of said show or said movie, that person has had a total makeover and they're just foxes now. Look at Stefan Urkel, that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so why can't we have like Jessica Alba geeked up, looking like a news reporter and stuff like that? When
Amy Adams is, first of all, I think she's pretty, but second of all, she's got chops as an actress.
And excuse me, are you implying that Jessica Alba is not a good actress?
I'm implying she's not as good an actress as Amy Adams.
I'll make that assumption. I'll make that assertion. She's not a very good actress.
Really? We're talking about the same chick from what's that movie that she was in that was absolutely terrible?
The Eye.
That's one.
Not Jessica Alba. Amy Adams.
But you said Jessica Alba.
No, I'm talking Amy Adams. Okay. I'm gonna look this up really quick. There she is.
Every actor and actress has a bomb
I'm
in their
interested to know what
past.
movie this is.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
She was good in The Fighter.
Well,
she was excellent in The Master.
Terrible actors, but
American Hustle.
American Hustle was a terrible movie.
I didn't care for American Hustle.
Well, you two didn't have to like it because a whole lot of other people did.
Talladega Nights.
That was a huge hit.
It was a huge hit because it's
also hilarious.
It's just like Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider is now the stapler.
No,
kind of thing.
That movie, you cannot compare Talladega Nights to Rob Schneider movies. Sorry.
Norm of the North.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, Jessica Alba is an amazing actress
to look at.
She's an amazing actress.
Okay.
Right. That's going to do it for us here. We're running out of time. Guys, thanks as always for coming on, and we will be back next week, hopefully. For Tony Zur and Curt Campbell, I'm Adam St. Paul. Until the next time.